Hello, Stampin' friends. It's Stamp Ventures with Shauna, Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Canada. Welcome to my Tuesday tutorial. Let's see here, I'm just checking my watch. It's Tuesday, January 11th of 2022. I really wanted to say December there, but no, it is January now and it's a brand new year, and this is my second Tuesday tutorial of the year, so I got to get used to this. Welcome to everyone. Say hello if you're hopping on for the video. There we go, linking up with the iPad, so I might be able to catch the odd comment coming through. Hello to Tracy and Emmy and Brenda. Thanks for hopping on here and saying hello. I do have a Valentine card I'm going to be making for you today, and I've shared some of the dimensions before the video started in a post, and you might be able to make a card along with me, or after you've seen me do it here, you might be able to just make your own. And I was gonna have a giveaway this week. Whoops, there's a little pearl that got away. I was gonna have a little giveaway draw for somebody who does participate in making this card using the recipe that I share tonight. Just a little strip of some of our pastel pearls. So yeah, if you feel inspired to try out this card, be sure to share a picture of it that after you've made it, and your name would be entered in the draw for the pearls. Okay, so I'm getting some reaction to my funny here. How do you stop Canadian bacon from curling in your pan? You dredge the bacon in flour. Okay, and you know what? I didn't know that, but yes, there is also the kind of Canadian bacon that, you know, that curls and hurries hard in your pan. Yeah, you take away their little brooms. So those of you who are maybe not as familiar with the game of curling, this funny might not mean as much to you, but and I think I've maybe shared this one like maybe last winter, but it was just too funny to not share again. And what's so exciting is that Moose Jaw has the next Saskatchewan women's representative to the Scotties Tournament of Hearts for the ladies Canadian women's curling. I don't even know if I said that right, but yeah, our representative from Saskatchewan is right here from Moose Jaw. It's the Penny Barker team, and so that's so exciting for us here in Moose Jaw. We're going to be able to see one of our homegrown curlers and her team curling at the Canadian national level. I'm not sure exactly even when it is. Is it in February? Maybe. But so yeah, lots of excitement here with that. Oh, so now I've got people wanting to eat bacon. Emmy's making you hungry, and you wish you could make some cards. And you know, we're good at getting together to have coffee, but one of these times, Emmy, we have to get together and make some cards too. Okay, and let's see here. Before I go any further, some of you may have noticed that today the weather is magical. Here in Saskatchewan, at least down in southern Saskatchewan, we got up to a temperature that was just like a degree or maybe even two above the freezing point. So that's 0 degrees Celsius, and I always forget what that is in Fahrenheit. It's like, I don't know, 32 or something. But it was magical because we've had such darn cold weather here. So it was lovely. I actually got to walk outside today and not feel like my skin was gonna break off in chunks. Hello, a few more people have hopped on, and I have some happy mail here that I thought I would share with you. I've been in a swap with some demonstrator friends, and some of the swap cards are starting to come in, and boy, has it been fun to go to the mailbox lately. This card I received from Lisa Henderson, and it's got the lovely, the rainbow, I think rainbow of happiness, or the rainbow stamps, and then she's used some of the paper from our celebration brochure. So yeah, a lot of you know right now that it is celebration, and that's on for January and February, and with a qualifying $60 order, you get to choose something free from this brochure. And if you have questions about celebration, please be sure to ask. I'll do my best to help you. And not only do we celebrate with qualifying orders, but also with qualifying parties. There's a special host set. And for people who sign up for the Stampin' Up! Demonstrator Starter Kit during celebration. So lots of good things happening in celebration. So yeah, this card came from Lisa in the mail, and it's a slim line. And you know, I ordered some of the new slim line envelopes that are in the new January through June mini catalog, and I'm guessing that it's the right size. I'm going to see if I can grab those right now and see how close it is to the envelope size. They're right here. I haven't even pulled them out of the package yet, but look at that. Nice. Oh, it fits perfectly into one of those slimline envelopes. So thank you to Lisa for this happy mail. And then Lisa also, she's got a little one at home, and she sent this card that says, "Greetings, kind human." And that would be a lot of fun, probably for her son to take for a birthday party. So just like that, and again featuring a stamp set from the new mini catalog, and I'm not even going to remember what the name of it is, but it's in there. And then I got a couple cards from Tamara Bertram. So I love this one. I love the rain boots. Rain or shine, I'm here from you, and there's some tulips that are growing out of them. And then this lovely flowing flowers stamp set. Oh, be still my beating heart. I love that. And it's a distinctive stamp set. So another stamp set from the new mini catalog. And then a couple cards I got from Diane Inkster. Here she's got the Otters stamp set. That's one of the celebration items that can be chosen for free with an order. And I think this has got, oh, look at this, guys. It's got a special fold. It's, oops, this is just her little recipe card that says what she used. And I'm going to move that out of the way so that this is going to work. Here we go. Yay! The otter pops up. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Diane. And that's one that I'm going to have to try, because that's lots of fun. That's very cool. And finally, one more from Diane here. And she's used the daffodil. Thanks Diane. This is helping me out. She used the Daffodil Daydream stamp set here. And some words to remind us that Easter and spring are coming. And again, more things from the mini catalog. So just had to share the happy mail, or maybe it's a happy meal. That's a McDonald's thing. Happy mail that I received. One more card that I thought I'd share. This week I'm going to be doing a class with the Bouquet of Love hybrid embossing folder, and I had a lot of fun coming up with this card. I got the idea for this shaker card from Patty Bennett. She's a demonstrator in the United States, and it's a shaker card in that when you open it and close it, you can see that there's a whole bunch of sequins in there that shake around, and it's got like this clear front cover, and then there's a place to write inside. And yeah, there's one piece of the Bouquet of Love hybrid embossing folder. I'm going to be using that today. It's a really pretty embossed heart, and then it also has an outside embossed edge to it as well. You can use just the inside or just the outside or both, and I'll be using that today in the card that I'm making. But I was just so excited about this one, and basically all that Patty did, and you could probably look up Patty Bennett shaker card and you'd be able to find her video of how she did this. She used the clear envelopes that Stampin' Up! Sells, and she slid a window sheet in them to make it so that it's not quite so flimsy, give it a little bit more strength, and then she decorated them and filled them with filled the clear envelopes with the little sequins, and yeah, it's a fun card to make. So I'm looking forward to stamping with some gals tomorrow and Thursday for my I'm already forgetting it again, the Bouquet of Love class that we're doing. So just a quick peek at that. Okay, so today for the Valentine card that I'm making, I've got a standard card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5, so just that half sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper, folded in half at 4 1/4. And then I've got some Blushing Bride paper at 3 3/4 by 5, and some Designer Series paper, and it's coordinating with the Highland Heather cardstock that I'm using here. This is from the Sweet Talk designer paper pack, and I'll just turn that over and you can see some of the hearts on the other side. There's all kinds of hearts, and like the sweetheart ones that have the little messages and things on them, like little sweetheart candies. That's kind of what this paper reminds me of, and there are some that have little messages on them on the paper design. But I'm using this one with some of the Highland Heather purple stripes. And then these two pieces, a white piece that's 2 7/8 inches by 4 inches, and then another Highland Heather piece that's just 1/8 of an inch larger than the white, 3 inches by 4 1/8 inch. And those are going to layer like that. And on the white piece, I'm going to be gluing something here, but you can also be stamping something. And I also will show you another option when I'm done making my card, where I have used a mask and created a sponged or a blended, a sponged blended image with a mask. So yeah, something a little bit different today. So to get started, I'm going to take my Blushing Bride piece and run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, the Big Boss. So I'm going to pull that in, and I've got this Bouquet of Love hybrid embossing folder, and it's really, really unusual because it has a die that actually can cut inside the embossing folder. And yeah, up until 6 months ago, all that embossing folders have been able to do is just create beautiful textured designs, but here we've got now ones that can create the texture and cut at the same time. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. And so it comes with the die, the embossing folder, and I should show you really quickly, it comes with these other pieces too. So there's a few different things that you can do with it. And it does have a stamp set that bundles with it the Love and Happiness set of greetings. But I'm not going to be using these greetings today. There are some other greetings I'll be using. And so there are 2 sides, and they both have a heart shape in them. And the one that you want to look for to set your die into is the one that's got some edges along the heart. There's an inside edge and an outside edge. This one, well, it's got ridges now from where the cut lines have pushed against it. But when I first got it, there were no cut lines. There was just an empty heart shape in there, but there weren't ridges that would hold the die in place. So you look for the one that has the ridges, and you lay this down so that it's the cutting blades facing up, just like that. And then you can see when I've been running things through it, I've marked with the Sharpie marker just to kind of see where the center is. And so I'm going to take my 3 3/4 by 5 inch piece of Blushing Bride cardstock, and I'm going to try and get, so I'm sort of centering it on those lines, a little bit on one side and a little bit on the other, and with the heart in the very middle. And when I close it like this, I can kind of see the heart shape there, and I can kind of tell whether I've centered it that way too. It's looking to me like I maybe need to go over a little bit this way. I don't know if any of you stampers ever do this, but sometimes when I'm not sure, I'll take my ruler and I'll measure from there to the edge, from the edge of the heart to the edge of the paper, and that's like 1 1/4, and then I measure here, and that's like, ooh, like a 1 inch. So yeah, there is a little bit of difference. So I'm gonna move this over just a tad. There we go. Something like that, and see if that makes the heart look a little bit more centered. Yeah, it does. So there we go. I'm gonna lay my embossing folder down on the platform. This is just the straight there's a name for it, or a number for it, the number 1 platform from the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And then I'm going to grab the gray plate, number 4, which is the one that you use for these really thick, heavy-duty embossing folders. And that's all you need, just those 2 items to run it through. And, ooh, clunk. It always scares people when the machines do that, but it's just releasing some pressure at the end, and it's all good. Nothing broke. One thing I should mention, and probably most of you already know this, but when you're running through any embossing folders through the machine, you should always run the folded edge of the folder first. I've had where I've run through the open edge first, and then the pressure has built up in here, and the 2 parts of the folder have not connected with each other properly, and then it wasn't embossing properly anymore. So make sure you always do the edge there with the folded edge first, and that will keep your embossing folders in really good shape. So we'll open this up here. Oh my gosh, there we go. So there's the outer image, and there's the heart that's been cut out in the center. And I don't need these pieces anymore. I'll set those out of the way. Okay, I'm just going to stop for a second here just to see if there are any comments that have come along. Okay, let's see. Oh, you like the rainbows, Emmy? Okay, and the Scotties, thanks Deb, are January 29th in Thunder Bay. Okay, yeah, I knew it was, coming up, but I just hadn't paid attention to what the date was that they had said. Oh, yes, yeah, lots of thanks. I'm glad you guys liked the cards that I shared today. There were some fun ones there. Okay, so my heart that I've got is a little bit off-centered, but that's okay because this middle part is going to get covered up a little bit. So there's a little bit of, a little bit of grace that I have there for not quite getting it exactly centered. So I'm going to take my Designer Series paper, 2.5 inches by 3 3/4, and I want to glue that right in the center like that. And no worries that a little bit of that heart shape is sticking out on either side, because that will get covered up as well. So we'll glue down the Sweet Talk designer paper. I'm just going to put the glue at the top and bottom edges because the glue will drip out down the sides here. And let's see, how close can I get to the middle here? hopefully kind of sort of close. I'm going to pull in my ruler again and just see how many centimeters from that edge are about 3, and about this edge, ooh, that's about 3.2. Okay, so it could go maybe a smidge over more that way ish. What's that, about 3.1, 3 point, yeah, we're getting pretty close. Pretty close. Okay. Now, I'm going to take my white, 2 7/8 by 4, and I'm going to adhere my heart to this one side, and I think I want to use dimensionals to pop that up. Maybe before I do that, I'll layer it. No. Before I do that, I will do my stamping, so that if stamping goes crazy for me, I can turn the white paper over and stamp again on the other side. So the greeting that I picked out is from this stamp set called Special Moments, and it's from the Celebration brochure. And because it's such a large stamp set with so many sayings, this one is free with a $120 order. And I really liked this little saying right here: the thing I like about you is everything. And I thought, that's just perfect for Valentine's Day. I mean, it's perfect. The thing is, it doesn't have to be for Valentine's Day either. It could be for so many other occasions. But it works really well for Valentine's as well. So I've got it already on a clear block, and I'm going to stamp that right about, let's see, how straight am I? Hopefully somewhat straight. There we go. And I'm using the Highland Heather ink. Just feeling like it didn't, well, it's not bad. I'm going to try it again though. See if I like the other side better. It's a little bit off kilter, just a tiny bit, and I feel like I didn't get as good of an image as I possibly could have. So I'm going to try that once more, straightening it out and just taking my time, making sure that all the little droplets of ink, oh, that's better. That's clearer and sharper, and I like everything about that one. Yeah, so that was with the Highland Heather ink, and now I can glue onto the coordinating Highland Heather layer, cardstock layer. I'm going to use the liquid glue here again. Just gives me a second to get things lined up before the glue sets. Okay, now there, and I'll pull in some dimensionals for the back of this heart. And I guess if you wanted to, you could, center your stamped image or center your cutout image, whichever you like. I just decided I wanted to do mine a little bit offset. Okay, so now I'm going to layer all these pieces together. Use some more liquid glue to layer this onto the card base. And I especially like the liquid glue for when I'm adhering these really bumpy layers. The liquid helps to really make sure that that textured cardstock adheres. There we go. And I think I'm going to use some more dimensionals here to pop up this next layer. And if you're going to do this recipe at your place and you don't have this particular embossing folder, I'm sure you'll have other embossing folders on hand that you'd be able to use to give a little bit of texture to that 5" by 3¾ inch layer. And then again, yeah, if you could use a stamped image here, it could be a die cut image, a punched image. Yeah, there's lots of different choices there that you could use. I'm going to add a little bit of an interest to the heart, just to add a little bit more to it. I've punched out using these little dies here that come with the hybrid embossing folder. The little flower, and well, actually it's the big flower, because there's littler ones there, and some of the leaves, the greenery. So I think I'm going to glue that on something like that, just to add a little bit more interest to the heart. And I'll probably just use more of my liquid glue. Just turn this piece over. The other thing I could do too is use a little bit of my my glue dots or something like that. There we go. And if that leaf is hanging over the edge of the heart a little, that's okay too, I think. Just adds a bit of interest that way. Now, I think I want to put some kind of embellishment in the center of that flower. And the other thing that I'm going to do, grabbing more of my pearls, my poils. There we go. These are the pastel pearls. And, where's my take your pick? There it is. When I originally was playing around with this design, I had decided that I wanted to have a couple of embellishments right along this right-hand edge here. But I also want to have a pearl in the center of the flower, and trying to decide if I want a pink one in the center or a completely different color. Well, maybe I'll just go with the pink one for now, and I'll kind of stick with the... So something like that. That's the recipe that I was using and it was going for tonight for this Valentine's card. Now, I showed you I have another card that I made that's just slight variation on it, and instead of having a cutout heart here, what I did was I took a piece of basic white cardstock and cut out the heart shape, just running it through the Stampin' and Cut and Emboss machine, just the regular way that you would cut out with a die. So I did not use the embossing folder or with it. I just cut it out like just with our regular thin dies and created a mask. And then I took and I placed the mask on my piece of basic white cardstock, and I sponged with a blending brush using the Blushing Bride ink. And so then I have a lovely soft sponged heart. And then I pulled out, because I was really anxious to play with these now that we have blending brushes. The blending brushes work so well with masks, and I wanted to create some kind of a design on the heart. And I went through the different masks that are from the Butterflies and Flowers that are in the new mini catalog, and there's some really cool designs, some basic flowers, and then there's some really detailed flowers and detailed butterflies and different kinds of mosaic designs and vine designs. And I pulled out this mask, and I covered up these pieces here because I didn't want my ink to go into them, just with sticky notes, and I even used a little bit of tape, and so that all I had there that was going to get ink in it was a flower, and I would have used the Highland Heather, and I inked it quite a bit so that that light purple would really show up and pop on top of the Sponged Blushing Bride. And so yeah, just a little bit of a variation on this card recipe. But like I said, you could also stamp an image there too. You could, yeah, you could do a variety of things there for your focal point. So now I've shown you this idea and this card recipe. I'd love to see what you come up with using it. You can go back at my post just from earlier this evening to catch all of the dimensions for the card pieces, and post a picture of the card that you come up with in the comments here of the video, and I'll put you in a draw for this these 3 little rows of pastel pearls. Just so you know, I'm not allowed to send Stampin' Up! Product across the border to countries other than Canada. So your name can only be entered in the draw if you are Canadian. And let's see, it's Tuesday today, so we'll leave the draw open until like Sunday night. And yeah, hopefully in the next 5 days or so, you can play around with your stamps and your papers, get them out and enjoy them and have fun. Make sure you get out though and enjoy the nice weather out there too, because we got to enjoy that while we can. We never know how long it's going to stay. We could end up back in the deep freeze here, knowing how things go. But I would really love to see your take on this recipe. It's pretty fun and easy to do, and it's always nice to have a card to brighten someone's day. So I'm just taking a look here again. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy the card idea. So glad that you could pop on and say hello. And yeah, this is a very doable card. It doesn't take too long, and you can probably whip off a few of these in not too long of a time. Be ready for whenever you'll be needing a card next. So if you have any questions, give me a shout. I do my best to answer them. And thanks again for joining me this evening. Have a great rest of the week, everyone. And we'll talk to you another time. Bye for now.